He didn't get drafted. He wasn't supposed to make a roster. He was barely supposed to get a shot. But in just a few plays during a preseason game, Shedeur Sanders made the entire football world stop and watch. And right now, people are asking questions. Did we overlook him? Was he just written off because of his last name? Maybe, just maybe, he belongs on that field more than anyone thought. Meanwhile, Cam Ward, the #1 overall pick in the draft, had a solid debut with the Titans. But oddly, nobody's talking about it at all. The QB with the best arm in his class stepped on the field, made real throws, looked like a franchise player. But the headlines weren't about him. They were about the undrafted kid playing his heart out for a roster spot. And that right there might be the most revealing part of this whole story. Because this isn't just a comparison of two players, it's a spotlight on what the NFL chooses to care about. Who gets covered, who gets doubted, and who has to earn every yard of respect. So today, we're diving into why Shedeur Sanders is getting real buzz while Cam Ward quietly fights to prove he deserves the hype. Because in the preseason world of nothing matters, some moments mean everything. Cam Ward walked into the NFL with cameras flashing, expectations towering, and the label that every quarterback dreams of: first overall pick. He had 8 pass attempts. That's all it took. The arm talent was real. The control was obvious, and just like that, he checked the box, played well, moved on. Now enter Shedeur Sanders. No podium, no hype, no draft call. Just a shot. An undrafted free agent grinding through a crowded preseason depth chart. No one expected anything spectacular. Some fans even questioned if he belonged in the league at all. But when the whistle blew, he showed up like he had something personal to prove. Because in a league built on first impressions, these two couldn't be more different. One was handed a spotlight. The other had to break into the building just to touch the field. And yet, when the game ended, guess who people were talking about? Because how you enter the league doesn't matter. It's what you do when the world thinks they already know your story. And what Shedeur did next forced people to rethink everything. For most undrafted players, preseason snaps are forgettable. Run, tackle, repeat, blend in, don't mess up, stay quiet. But Shedeur Sanders didn't just stay on the field. He popped off the screen. On one play, he came off the edge like a veteran, disguised the blitz, exploded into the backfield, and forced a rush throw with a perfectly timed hit. No roughing, no hesitation, just real football. That was his moment, and the camera found him. But it wasn't just that play. He moved all over the field. In the box, deep center, strong side, single high safety, playing with the kind of instinct that scouts claimed he didn't have. He didn't make mistakes because he knew exactly where to be, and when the ball came near him, he was in on it. Reliable, physical, confident. He didn't need flashy stats, he needed presence, and he had it. What made it even more impressive, he looked comfortable, like he belonged. No nerves, no panic, just a guy proving that pedigree is one thing, but patience, grit, and preparation move the chains. And while Shedeur was earning respect, Cam Ward was facing a very different kind of test. Cam Ward had the job most quarterbacks dream about. Walk in as the #1 overall pick, take your reps, and own the moment. And technically, he did exactly that. 5 completions
on 8 passes, 67 yards, no turnovers, a 99.1 passer rating. It was clean. It was efficient. He looked fine. But that's the thing. Fine isn't what people expect from the top draft pick. And maybe that's why nobody's talking. Ward showed flashes, quick release, sidearm throws, zip on the underneath stuff. He connected with veterans like Calvin Ridley and looked relaxed in the pocket. His throwing motion? Weird, but deadly. It's the kind of style that only freakish arm talent can get away with. He doesn't drive with his legs, he just snaps missiles. But there were cracks too. A dangerous near pick into coverage, a few delays that nearly stalled the drive, moments where the gunslinger looked more like a wild card. It wasn't bad, but when the expectations weigh that heavily, anything shy of great feels like a miss. And while Cam Ward was being silently judged for not doing more, Shedeur Sanders was being celebrated for every single snap. The spotlight wasn't where you'd expect, and it wasn't done shifting yet. You can teach coverage schemes, you can coach footwork, but you can't teach presence. And Shedeur Sanders has that in spades. He's not just playing defense, he's living every down like it's his last shot to be seen. That might sound dramatic, but for an undrafted rookie, it's reality. And Shedeur is treating every preseason game like a playoff run. What stood out wasn't just one highlight, it was the consistency, the confidence. He lined up as a deep safety, he filled in the box, he blitzed off the edge, he read coverage, he tackled in space. This wasn't a scattered performance, it was a full audition tape in motion. Even head coach Todd Bowles noticed. He's coming along, he's got a good chance to make it, Bowles told reporters. Think about that. From not even being an NFL player just months ago to a chance to make the 53-man roster. And then there's the off-field piece. Shedeur is connecting with fans, engaging with teammates, and embracing Tampa like he already belongs. That's character. That's leadership. That's valuable to a locker room, something coaches care more about than 40 times. He's not just fighting to make a team, he's making people believe he should have been here all along. And that's where the pressure flips. At first glance, it seems obvious. Cam Ward, he's the top pick, handed the keys to an NFL team with millions on the line and an entire franchise watching every move. But look closer, and you start to wonder if Shedeur Sanders is actually under more pressure, just a different kind. Cam can afford mistakes. He'll get another series, another preseason, another year. The investment in him guarantees opportunity. He's supposed to struggle early. It's part of the plan. Fans will give him time, coaches will give him reps, the media will give him excuses. Shedeur, he gets none of that. One missed tackle, one blown coverage, one hesitation, and it's over. Cut, forgotten, just another camp body. That's the reality of being undrafted. No safety net, no halftime adjustment. You make the most of your reps or someone else takes your place, period. And that's the quiet truth about pressure in the NFL. It's not just about who has the brightest spotlight, it's about who has everything to lose and nothing guaranteed. So while Cam Ward manages expectations, Shedeur Sanders is surviving elimination. And somehow, he's doing more than just surviving. Every NFL journey branches down two paths. One leads to opportunity, the other to obscurity. Cam Ward, he's the chosen one. The arm talent is real. The calmness in the pocket is rare. And if he figures out the decision-making side, he could be the Titans franchise quarterback for the next decade. But that's a big if, because potential doesn't guarantee production. Just ask the 20 quarterbacks drafted before Patrick Mahomes.
Now, Warren's path is wide open, but it's surrounded by pressure. The media won't wait forever, neither will fans. As soon as the wins don't come, almost every pick in preseason turns into a headline. Then there's Shedeur Sanders, stuck in the football version of a survival game. He's the fourth-string safety, competing with solid, undrafted talent like J.J. Roberts. No one's handing him anything, but somehow he's found ways to create impact without even touching the spotlight Cam lives under. Football tells you it's a merit-based league, where the best players rise. But we all know that's not always true. The question now is, who climbs, and who slips when the climb gets steeper? Both of them have the tools, but only one will beat the system. Shedeur Sanders wasn't supposed to be here, and Cam Ward, he was supposed to own the moment the second he stepped on the field. But now, just one preseason game in, their stories are colliding in a way nobody predicted. Cam Ward has the arm, the pedigree, and the path laid out in front of him. He's the prototype. If he succeeds, no one will be surprised. But that's also the trap, because when you're expected to win, anything less feels like failure. Shedeur Sanders is walking a tighter rope. Smaller margin, louder critics, fewer chances. But every time he steps on that field, he makes you pay attention. It's not flashy, it's not perfect, but it's real and it's earned. That's the difference. One was chosen, one is still fighting to be seen. And that tension, the Nepo baby with grit, the generational QB with everything to prove, is what makes this moment so fascinating. Because despite everything we thought we knew about these two players, football has a funny way of flipping the script. So now, it's your turn. Who are you betting on? The gunslinger with a golden arm, or the underdog with a chip on his shoulder and fire in his chest?